Hi everyone, Tally and Farrell here from Bordervit and welcome to our review of Nidavellir, a game full of pubs, taverns, dwarves, bidding, set collection and tremendous amounts of fun. For 2 to 5 players and great for all ages, this has become a fast favourite with our group.
So, an ancient dragon has awakened in a mythical land filled with dwarves, and apparently that dragon is causing quite the problem. So, the King Dwarf fella has sent you out to gather the best dwarf army you can find, or whoever's left over after your friends offer to pay more than you do, which frankly serves you right for being such a cheapskate. I hear you're the toughest warrior in all the land. We've come to get your help with the dragon. We're ready to pay you this. Alright, we'll have to double it. I think we've got a team together.
Nidavellir is so quick to teach and grasp, it's really a joy to get to the table. There are 3 taverns on the table, each with randomly drawn dwarves represented by cards. At the beginning of each round, players will take 3 out of their 5 coins and place them face down on their player board, 1 for each tavern. Then in tavern order, players will reveal their coins simultaneously and the player with the highest bid gets to pick their dwarf first and the person with the second highest goes second and so on.
When you bid a 0 coin, you then get to swap out the coins you didn't use. So you flip them, in this case 5 and a 3, you add them together, 8, and then you get rid of the higher value coin and swap it out for a coin of the sum. So 8.
The goal is to have the most bravery points by having the best army, and each type of dwarf scores in a different way. The blue explorers score just from their printed value. The red warriors work in the same way, except the player with the most warrior ranks at the end of the game adds the value of their highest coin to the red warrior's score. The green hunters score the amount of ranks that you have, squared. The purple blacksmiths score by way of mathematical sequence, so +3, +4, +5, and so on. And finally, the orange miners score by adding up their total value and multiplying that number by the amount of ranks that you have.
Now, having heard that, you might think that you only want to pursue one type of dwarf and get as many points as possible out of that type. But it's actually quite important to diversify, because if you get 1 rank of every type of dwarf, you get to pick a hero. And these hero cards are an extremely delightful twist on the set collection gameplay. Now, these will allow you to either boost the strategy you're currently undertaking, or they might allow you to go down unforeseen routes.
The last things to know about the game are that it's played over 2 eras, comprised of a variable number of rounds based on player count. These 2 eras are virtually identical, except the fact they have 2 separate decks. At the end of the first era, there are 5 bonuses available, 1 for the player that has the most of each type of dwarf.
The thing is, gameplay-wise, Nidavellir is terrific. It's fun, it's vibrant, and it's engaging. At the beginning of every round, you get this great little burst of strategy as you decide, what coin should I bid at what tavern for what card? What's important to me? And then you get all the thrill and excitement of a bidding game as you go tavern to tavern and reveal your coins and see if you've won. Best of all though, nobody goes home empty-handed because you'll always get a card. And this means that even if you don't get what you want, you're not that annoyed. And the game moves at such a quick pace that it just doesn't really allow bad feelings to creep in.
The fact that you can take a near tavern to bid 0 and upgrade your coins adds a really interesting twist. It allows players to pursue a lot more strategies than you'd otherwise think. You could opt for the strategy where you upgrade your coins early on in the game, but you sacrifice your ability to be able to choose what you want early on in the game, but with the view of being able to select the dwarfs that you want later on in the game. Or you can start out strong and bid your highest coins from the beginning of the game, choose what you want and shape your strategy from the start.
But that's not to say that you'll always get to shape your strategy. It's rather interesting in this game how you can start out and you say, I'm going specifically for this, and then the game just pushes you into something totally different. Because the lie of the cards and what other players do will always throw a spanner in your best laid plans. It's almost as important to see what other players are doing and try and interfere with them as to enact your own plans. because this is what will allow you to win the game. You'll need to be crafty and you'll need to be flexible.
It's probably worth noting that here the theme isn't really important, and we mean that in that you could be doing anything. It could be that you're picking up breeds of rescue dogs and the coin is related to how late you show up. If you're looking for theme to drive the mechanisms, then you won't find it here. This isn't something we've ever really addressed before, as we're usually pretty happy to take the theme of a game at face value. But for whatever reason, with Nidavellir, the disconnect seems to really stand out.
That said though, Nidavellir kind of makes up for it by being generally quite humorous and charming. You see, you're going to pubs and taverns, you're bidding, you're flashing coins, you're getting dwarfs, creating a dwarf team of Avengers. It all has this comedic edge, skillfully helped along by the excellent illustrations. And the heroes add further depth to this world, as they all have fleshed out backstories written in the back of the game manual. And perhaps it's this world building that illustrates the disconnect more than other games between the mechanisms and the theme, because usually if there's a pasted on theme, there's no effort to make any world building, unlike the care that's gone into this.
The heroes though are a highlight of the game design on show here. There are many unique heroes to choose from and always multiple great options to suit any situation that you found yourself in. Even better, you can chain heroes, as you get one every time you have a set of ranks in all 5 suits. And some of the heroes come with ranks, so you can slot them into your tableau and instantly trigger another hero. The best feeling in this game is when you masterfully link together a massive chain of heroes and bump up your score by about 100 from a single bid.
Also, just want to give a shout out to my favourite heroes, the Dwarf brothers. These are 5 brothers that work better together, and the more you have, the more points you score. And if you can get all 5, it's basically game over for anyone else. And they're just a really hilarious set of heroes, because if somebody starts pursuing them as a strategy, everyone else around the table starts sweating, because even having just 3 of them is a huge swing of points. And somebody might have to take the gamble and just start buying dwarves themselves to stop you.
The length is just perfect too. You'll often end feeling like you needed just 1 or 2 more turns, which gives you that I want to play again feeling. It plays in under 45 minutes with minimal differences between player counts, which is just perfect as you'll almost certainly want to play more than once. It's just that type of game where when you introduce it to someone, they instantly want to play again because it's just that engaging. One small gripe is that we wish the suits were more diverse in how they scored. You've only got 5 and 2 of them score in the exact same way. Another 2 are also quite similar, because whilst they score differently, the end result is the same and you're going to pursue the same strategy with both of them. It's just a shame that there's not more diversity considering the low number of suits.
And this carries on to a further issue in that the difficulty of the strategy for each suit isn't equal. You see purple and green, the only strategy there is to get as many as possible because they score exponentially the more you have. But then you take orange, which can be quite profitable, but you need to have a lot of ranks and you need to have a lot of value. And some of the cards only have a value of 0. So it's quite a tricky strategy, especially because it's a strategy where if 1 or 2 players take 1 or 2 crucial cards for you, it can be a waste of your entire game. Whereas if you lose 2 purple cards going after the purple strategy, really won't matter in the long run.
This means, weirdly, that you might have to play offensively in this game and actively take cards other players want. We've seen in our games, when a player actively pursues the green or purple strategy without any interference, they'll almost always win. It's become a bit of an issue in our later games, where one of the players has wholeheartedly pursued one of those strategies and they outright win, with purple seeming a bit overpowered.
And it becomes more of an issue at higher player counts because you play less rounds and you really feel the difference. And that means it's even more crucial to get every card you can. So it's a really tough ask to get players to give up a crucial piece of their strategy to mindly inconvenience another player who might be on the road to victory. But all this said and done, the most important thing to know is that this isn't a game where you're going to care so much who wins and loses. All you care about is getting to play again because it's so much fun.
We have one last negative, and it's something that we believe other reviewers have also commented on, that there might be an issue with longevity with Nidavellir. Whilst you do get variety in how the cards are dealt and how the players bid for what and where, The core of the game remains unchanged, round to round and game to game. The strategies aren't that tough to work out, and much of the experience comes from the fun of bidding. It's probably one best enjoyed occasionally in small doses, although that is pretty tough because it's so damn fun.
Surprisingly, Nidavellir is great at every player count. You'd think that it wouldn't work 2 players, being a bidding game, but because at its core it's really a set collection game, you don't lose too much of the experience. Of course, it is more fun, more competitive and more interactive with more players, but this is honestly a game that we would keep in our collection even if we knew that we would never play it with more than 2 players again.
The main comment to make is, as there's fewer rounds at 4 and 5 players, it does feel much shorter and tighter. Still fun, but everyone agreed that they prefer it to be the same length as at 2 or 3. But that's impossible to do because there aren't enough cards. Even players that had never played a game at 2 or 3 were upset by how quickly the end of the game came around.
Final thoughts? Nidavellir is a terrific lighter game to add to your collection. While we wouldn't say it's a must-have, and it might have longevity issues, you could potentially solve them by grabbing the expansion, which might shake things up. And to be honest, it's got a terrific price point and provides more fun per minute than most other board games.
The simple set collection, combined with constant player competition through bidding, culminates in a thoroughly engaging and enjoyable game for everyone. If you enjoyed this video, we'd really appreciate it if you could give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel if you're not already, and let us know in the comments what your favourite bidding and/or set collection games are. And we'd be happy to answer any questions about Nidavellir as well. Just let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.
Bye bye.